Hello and welcome back to match 2 with Reclaimer Amulet. Hopefully we don't get paired against Storm again. And what can I say? I'm pumped to sacrifice some Flagstones of Trocaire. So I will see you guys in the games. Alright. We are finally paired. Not like it took that long. I'm not so, what's the word? Spoiled as to be annoyed to have to wait for a couple minutes. I mean, that was like a minute, maybe. Anyways, we were playing against Archon Blue. I like that username. We got a Amulet, and we can play it. And we got a Bounce Land, and we can play that as well in order to get a 3-drop out. We have a Golos to get to if we decide to go that route. And we have a Titan, so I like it. We'll lead on Flagstones, perhaps. I guess that way if we draw second Flagstones, we can make use of it. I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference here, actually. We don't have a 3-drop to play if we draw second Flagstones, so let's just lead on Forest so we get maximum green sources for Garenbrig purposes. We'll throw out this Amulet of Vigor and pass it to our opponent. Don't need to show them that we're playing any kind of Reclaimer tech, so... And it looks like the jig is up. They know about the Flagstones, they know about the Golos, they know about everything, everyone. They do take the Titan, which Golos as a mini Titan is kind of nice. Talari West ain't bad either. Sadly, we can't transmute that one. We could... I guess our only line really here is to just play out the Flagstones and pass it back. We could play Talari West and plan to transmute it, but then we have to sacrifice our Bounce Land access, and that's not something that I'm willing to do. I mean, considering we could just transmute for another Bounce Land, it may not be the worst, but that doesn't really get us anywhere. So, I don't know. We'll just, we'll do it live. We'll figure it out. I wouldn't mind a Reclaimer top deck if our opponent doesn't have a removal spell. If they have the removal spell, then... I don't know, maybe. I might still take it. They take the Summoner's Pact. Well, we still have Golos, and we still have Talari West. So, there's the Death Shadow. Not fond of that one being on the battlefield, but not much we can do about it. Grazer's not bad, so we can play Growth Chamber, Grazer, Golos. I dig it. I totally dig it. We can yield to these Amulet triggers. I don't really know what the Golos is searching for here. Maybe another Talari West, actually? We could search for a Bounce Land as well. This way we get to block the Shadow. We get the Golos out of our hand before they can make us discard it. We could get Bogged to try to keep them from casting a Gurmag Angler. Might be reasonable. I think just getting a Bounce Land here is going to be the best. That way we can keep 4 lands, 4 mana in play. Oh no, it won't be 4 mana. Nah, it's close. If we pick up... I don't know. Let's just get a Talari West, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it makes a huge difference. We'll pick up the Flagstones. Go time. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of great options for lands here. Maybe it is best to just... If we get Bojuka Bog, then we can't transmute our Talari West, so let's just get another Talari West, I guess. Yeah. That way, this upcoming turn, we can play Flagstones and transmute for Summoner's Pact, and then the turn after, if we draw any land, we can just hardcast a Primeval Titan if they don't have the discard or the Stubborn Denial for the Summoner's Pact that we search for, so... And then, even if they do have the answer, we still have a backup Talari West, so... If we draw a Bounce Land, it's a pretty good draw. If we draw a creature of some sort, that's not a bad draw. Although, right now, the only creature that's doing a whole lot is Reclaimer, since it'll let us turn this Flagstones into another resource. Dryad wouldn't be fantastic, in all honesty. They dismember our Golos. Yeah, that does let them grow their Shadow as well, which is pretty annoying. Thoughtseize not doing much. I think they have perfect information here, don't they? I don't know. I think we go ahead and snap off this block on the Death Shadow. Yeah, I don't see a reason to keep the Grazer around. We'll block. If they had a Street Wraith or something plus Team or Battle Rage, we were dead next turn anyways, so not really worried about that. We'll play a Grazer out just to block, I suppose. We'll put this Flagstones into play. And we do have to go ahead and transmute immediately and hope they don't have any kind of interaction and hope that we top deck any kind of land. We can't play around Southern Denial either, so we just want them to have nothing. Absolutely nothing. I suppose we could have transmuted for and played a... Not a Grazer. The name of the freaking card that I'm playing in the whole deck's premise, Reclaimer. I guess we could have transmuted for and played a Reclaimer, but we'll see, we'll see. Our opponent has 2 cards. They need to be Team or Battle Rage and... No? Yeah, Team or Battle Rage plus a discard spell or a Stubborn Denial would be pretty good. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Inquisition. Well, we're casting this. Here's a Primeval Titan. Inquisition resolves. Now we can't cast Titan this upcoming turn, but luckily we might be able to survive one more turn with Grazer. And we don't have to block this turn because we know for a fact... Actually, I suppose blocking next turn to try to play around Team or Battle Rage doesn't do anything if we take the damage this turn, so... Let's just go ahead and block here and not get fancy. They do have the TBR. Okay. We're not dead. We're at 7. Yeah, I don't know what we could have here that saves us. Let's let their bauble go and pay for our tech trigger. But I think that there's not really a draw for us here. Growth Chamber. No, that one doesn't do much. Alright, let's go to the next game. That one was a little closer than you might expect for a game 1 here. Alright, let's bring in the Baloth, bring in the Explosives, bring in the Tireless Trackers. Both of them. Come on. Bring in the Veil of Summers. Not really a big fan of Beast Within or Dismember in this matchup. Dismember does happen to kill Anglers and Tassigers and stuff if they have those, but... And it might kill a Death Shadow. Maybe having 3 Dismembers is too much, though. We'll see. Reclaimer seems good potentially if they don't have removal spells, but if they do have removal spells, and that means our Dryad or Tracker is surviving, so maybe Reclaimer is fine. Grazer, on the other hand, I mean, it does block, but it gets a card out of our hand, which I'm not in love with. We can definitely trim an Amulet, maybe 2. They don't stack very well, and they're a blank draw in the late game, so I don't love Amulet in this matchup. Golos, obviously, great here. Azusa might be a little bad, I don't know. We can trim Cavern. I don't really foresee them to have anything like Disdainful Stroke. That's what I'm trying to think of. I don't really expect a Disdainful Stroke or anything like that. They might have Fulminator Mages, so we might need to be concerned about that, but yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Let's see, what else? We gotta cut 6 cards here. That's quite a bit. I guess we can trim 1 Reclaimer. Nah, I think Reclaimer's good against them. We'll keep that one there. Let's just cut the Amulets entirely. Might seem like crazy talk, but I think that it makes sense. We'll trim the Azusa, I guess. Especially since it doesn't do much in the absence of Amulet being in play. We can trim 1 Grazer. And 1 Summoner's Pact. And 1 land. Let's make it the Radiant Fountain, I suppose, since we're not going to be losing by a little bit at a time. We're going to be losing by a lot at a time, and Radiant Fountain is unlikely to help with that. Let's run it back like this. And we'll be on the play. This hand needs a green source pretty badly. We got a mulligan. And this hand is a lot better. We got turn 1 Reclaimer. Turn 2 activated off of Garenbrig if we want to. We'll keep it. And naturally having the Bajuka Bog is not the worst here. You might just bottom the second Reclaimer. I don't know. We'll keep. Suppose we can search for the Bajuka Bog off of a Reclaimer activation anyways, though. We want the bounce land because it's a virtual card advantage and lets us scale up into Titan mana. So let's keep the double Reclaimer here just so that if they do have a Fatal Push, we do happen to have a threat here. Opponent mulligans to 6. We'll play our turn 1 bad boy. Boom. Go. I have to imagine the Reclaimer is pretty good against them. If they don't just Fatal Push it immediately, I'm basically going to assume that they don't have the answer. I guess they could Dismember it as well. But if they don't do that immediately, then I'm just going to go for a Flagstones of Trocaire line. Discard spell, perhaps. Fatal Push. So they had it. Like I figured, they would play it immediately if they had it. Ghost Quarter. Alright, we'll play Reclaimer. And let's get our Sanctuary out of the way, especially since we know we don't have any amulets in the deck. Getting the tap land out of the way and getting our immediate card advantage seems pretty good. We can play Forest or Ghost Quarter or whatever and immediately activate Reclaimer this upcoming turn. We don't have to do it immediately, obviously, but we can sacrifice whatever land we play this upcoming turn and not have to sacrifice our 2 mana source. So that's kind of the idea. Thoughtseize. Take our Titan. Not great for us, but not much we can do about it. It's kind of expected in this matchup, not gonna lie. And Dismember, too? And they're dealing with all of our stuff. Well, come on, Dryad. Off the top, Dryad. Explore. I'll take that one for sure. Titan. Okay, we'll play Castle into Forest, I suppose. And we'll pass it back. We have a Titan this upcoming turn if they don't do anything about it. We don't get to activate Field here, unfortunately, but I mean, we'll see, we'll see. Surgical... Why? No. That's terrible. Man, that really sucks. They should have done it during our draw step, in all honesty. That way they would hit a Titan if we drew one, but... Man, in general, Surgical Extraction is not very good against Primeval Titan decks anyways, because it's unlikely a Titan will hit the graveyard before you've already been forced to answer one. Like, the only way a Titan hits the graveyard, I suppose, unless you happen to spike one off of Thoughtseize, is, like, they kill it after it comes into play, or they counter it or something. I don't know. Well, we need a ton of help here. I guess we can Ghost Quarter them off of red. That might make sense. Yeah, and we'll... Yeah, well, let's go ahead and do this now. Now, we'll do it in their draw step, so if they draw one of their basics, then they don't get to search for that particular basic. And we can still shock Temple Garden and have access to 6 mana, as if we had anything to cast with it now, but... I don't know. I'm not really sure what our plan is anymore. We still have to draw something like a Tracker or another Reclaimer would be fine. Kind of just getting stomped this league so far. And they do have both of their basics out now. I think they searched for the Swamp. So we were pretty close to spiking them off of a basic. If they had drawn the Swamp or Island... No, they searched for the Swamp. So if they had drawn the Swamp for turn, we would have just completely Stone Rained them for free. Thoughtseize us. You got it. Fine with me. We're going to hold on to this Temple Garden for several reasons. One being Logan's Command. Another being that we can play out a Tireless Tracker and have immediate drop for that tracker. And having a second card in hand here is actually pretty good. We're in a lot of trouble, though. Talari West. Well, we'll play that one, I suppose. Now we can transmute it if we draw a bounce land or a second Talari West. Then I guess then we'll have something to do. I don't know. I guess we probably transmute for Summoner's Pact and try to get Tireless Tracker going. Yeah, we're in terrible shape here, sadly. If we got a tracker into play, we just have to chump block now. At least they can't one-shot us with Temur Battle Rage. Something good. Okay, well, we can transmute the Talari West now. If our opponent has, like, anything, then we're dead. Yeah. Alright, well, that sucked. We just got spiked off of a surgical extraction, which doesn't happen often, but you saw it here, folks. Yeah. Well, we're currently 0-2, and that's a pretty good record. So, like I've said in the past, 2-3, 4-1, 5-0, 1-4, 0-5, doesn't matter. I will still post this content because it still helps me and it still helps you. It's still fun to play, regardless if we're winning or losing, although obviously we'd prefer to be doing the winning. But yeah, I mean, so far we've just played against two of the bad matchups, you might say, for Amulet, so what else do you expect, really? And yeah, I will see you guys for match 3. Let me know what you think of the deck list and my plays and all that in the comments below. I do read them, and if you enjoy the videos, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have to shill because nobody else is going to shill for me. So, I mean, one of you could do that in the comments if you want to. I won't pay you. just being honest. But, I mean, yeah, I'll see you guys for match 3. This is Redface Menace, signing off.